I don't know, like Raw and like SmackDown were kind of whatever. Same thing with Dynamite this week. Uh, but really, like I just wanted to talk like right off the beginning about Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on Netflix.
Yeah, I watched it.
I tried to.
Did you watch it the night of? You
Yeah.
had that issue? Oh, okay, I didn't watch it the night of.
Yeah. Like we're just gonna jump straight into talking about this because I feel like this is a good precursor, like some foreshadowing for when Raw goes to Netflix at the beginning of the year. Walsh, did you watch it live at all?
I did not. I just watched some clips of it. I haven't actually watched a boxing match since Tyson and Holyfield.
Okay.
The boxing matches that led up to this, fucking money.
I didn't see any of them. I wasn't able to watch any of them.
The women's match was really fucking good. I can't remember the two guys'
co-main
names.
event.
Yeah, that was all good.
Look,
Wish that was all it was.
I mean, there's a couple of things that, like, I'll get out of the way right off the bat. Number one, I'm glad that WWE has their own production team, because the broadcasters that they brought on and the people that they got to do the interviews were dog water, just absolute trash, in my opinion.
Alex, I don't think that's an opinion. I think that's a fact.
That's a fact. Okay.
Dear Lord, especially after the Paul Tyson fight. I have never heard someone try to justify something so much and not put any goddamn effort into it. Like I sat there dumbfounded at listening to these two talk about this match after it was over and about how it didn't go how people may have expected, but this is everything everyone wanted. But they couldn't say this is everything everyone wanted with enough like force in their chest to fucking blow out a goddamn candle.
Dude, like my girlfriend knows zero about boxing. My knowledge of boxing ends at the Rocky movies, including, the Creed series. But
I box.
Yeah.
I don't do professional or like amateur, none of that. Like I just do it for working out.
Yeah. But she
yeah.
had a great take on this during the Tyson Paul main event where she's just like looked at me and goes, "So is boxing just always fucking boring like this?"
Up until that one knockout punch.
Yep.
That's the thing. I originally thought that the headlines the next morning were going to read Jake Paul decapitated by Mike Tyson. Like I was expecting it.
That's
like
what
I was
wanted.
thinking,
yeah,
because I'm thinking like this ain't going to go more than one round. This is going to be over in just a few punches. But I did know, Mike Tyson is almost a 60-year-old man who has not truly boxed in like 20 years. So you can't expect a lot out of him coming back in and expect him to have the endurance like he did as a younger man. So like I knew like if Jake Paul could outlast him in the first couple rounds, that it was going to go to Jake Paul because he just has to keep breathing essentially. But the headline
I just lost both of you guys. Where'd you go?
No, we lost you.
You
Me?
lost what?
No, Alex.
Nope, he's back.
Okay.
Okay, no, There's Derek.
We went nowhere.
No, you guys were gone.
Nope.
No, we were here. You were gone.
You left.
No,
That was you.
I didn't do anything. I swear.
Neither did we.
That's true. Actually, that's true. I was ranting.
Don't worry, still had it the whole time.
But I think the headlines got it wrong. What the actual headlines were, because they should have been. It should have said, "Social media influencer beats up old man in the ring."
Okay, number one.
So yeah.
I don't think Jake Paul is any sort of above average athlete. I think he is, he does train, but he's got no experience as like an amateur level boxer to begin with. Like
he has talent. He has actual talent in this. Like there's no like I'm not like I don't think any of us are going to argue that.
Yeah,
but
like
yeah,
if
he doesn't have
training when he was younger instead of like 6 years ago, he could have made like a legit career out of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to give him credit because he's been an advocate for higher pay of fighters and boxers, particularly the women's division of boxing needs to get higher paydays. I'm on his side for that. That's a fantastic thing to advocate for. But he did probably the smartest thing he possibly could have done. And unfortunately, that makes for a very boring boxing match. And that is just keep your distance and gas the other guy out when the other guy is pushing 60.
Well, so if you're not going to go for knockouts, you got to go for points.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to get points is to connect punches. And unfortunately for Tyson, Paul had a very easy time past the second round to connect punches. I think by the third or fourth round, he had not only connected, but had attempted twice the number of punches that Tyson had thrown.
Yeah.
Altogether. That's not even completing and connecting a punch. That's just the amount of punches he had thrown.
Yeah, I honestly think Tyson threw maybe like a 10 to 15 more punches after the fourth round.
Yeah, he was he could barely stand after that, man. He was tired. And I'm not going to like berate Tyson cuz like we all kind of knew if Tyson didn't take him out in the first fucking round, there was no way. He was going to be too gassed. So
what did they call it? The rope-a-dope.
Yeah. Yeah, Muhammad Ali style.
Just defend. Let the other guy tire himself out.
Yeah. And here's something I didn't know, according to Mike Tyson, like just yesterday. He's like, yeah, I almost died in June. I had to have 8 blood transfusions, lost half his blood, lost 25 pounds in the hospital. He had to, work to get healthy. That was in June at, 58 years old. And he's, a couple months later in a ring. Like, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Getting in the ring is impressive after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that also makes me wonder if that hadn't happened. I think this also would have gone very differently because he was already training for a bit for this. I'm not saying he would have like a ton of gas in him if that had never happened, but
I think he would have lasted longer than 20 seconds in the first round, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of those punches in the first round that connected would have been knockout punches, I think. So, I mean, it is what it is. The rest of the card was awesome. I love boxing, so it was really fun to watch. And like the ladies division, they just beat the holy living hell out of each other. So that was fun to watch.
It was Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, right? That was the match before that. That was the one that I was trying to watch it, and I was just getting the 25% loading over and over and over again on Netflix. And I'm just like, I'm just going to come back to this later. There's lots of downtime between these matches. I can come back an hour later, and Tyson and Paul won't even be walking out to the ring yet.
Yeah, I don't remember what the exact numbers were. I don't know if it was like 330 million people tuned in to the card.
Netflix said 60 million households tuned
so that
in
was
live. Yeah.
Okay, so they had 60 million of that cut because it wasn't just them showing it. Like in some parts of the world, it was pay-per-view and all that too.
Yeah.
So I believe it was around 330 million people altogether watched this fight, or tried to watch this fight. I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix dropped the ball on this real hard. You can tell they don't have the infrastructure like WWE has for a live event.
Well,
and it makes me worried.
It does make me worried. So, like, okay, at least with WWE, we have, the production team, the ground crew, the, people working on the actual, like, cameras, systems, all of that. It's the back end on the server side that's going to be in Netflix's hand where things can get sketchy.
That data center is, we all of a sudden had a 500% spike and we're not equipped to handle that kind of networking all at once.
Yeah. The positive is WWE doesn't have as big of an audience for an event like this. You know, they don't have a year of build up for a single live streaming event. It's a weekly thing. They can get better over time on a week to week basis and fix things live with not as big of a crowd. I'm sure we're going to see a huge audience spike, obviously, you know, the first week, you know, the debut of Raw on Netflix. But honestly, it's going to be a rough, like, I want to say 2 to 4 weeks easily.
Minimum, in my opinion. Because despite like the very first week, maybe 2, where they have a high spike of people watching.
Yeah.
The reason this is where I'm coming from basically is I'm surprised they went with Netflix and didn't try and make a deal with Hulu because of all the stuff already on Hulu. For Netflix's end, they need something to draw more customers in because for years now they've been getting they're basically they've been dying of 1,000 cuts with all these different streaming platforms coming out, taking back their content and putting it on their own platforms, what have you, or like a Hulu type where they've made deals to be able to consolidate other platforms into their own. I think they're going to struggle with this for a little while because I don't think they're going to have as high a viewership as they might have had with like a Hulu.
Yeah, and I mean Hulu has the advantage of like you can get the package deal of Hulu, Disney Plus, and like is it ESPN? Yeah, and
plus live TV,
plus you know, and you can add in whatever other subscription services in there. Like I think you can get AMC Plus and like Showtime and Stars and whatever through Hulu on top of that. And I'll be honest with you, I use Hulu to watch wrestling currently as it exists now, live. That's how I ingest it because it works. Sure, the recordings of it can get a little bit screwy when they get over time, but I'll deal with that if I can watch fucking wrestling live.
Well, yeah. Same here. Hulu is how I digest most of my wrestling content nowadays.
Yeah.
Like AEW as well. I watch it on Hulu. So, and then for PLEs for WWE, I watch it on Peacock.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something else that eventually will probably end up moving over to Hulu more so, or they'll try to move it to Netflix, what have you. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. Like I do see this working more in Netflix's favor long term than WWE's favor.
I mean, WWE got a huge payday for it, so there you go.
They did. I'm just saying when it comes to viewership and all that, I think they're gonna have a rude awakening.
Yeah,
over the next like month and a half of that beginning.
There is the advantages to it though of okay, now we won't have to deal with like the football schedule or the playoffs in the NHL or March Madness interfering with their schedule of airing their shows. They're not going to be moving channels on a week just because it's the Indy 500 or whatever and we've got to shift everything around. It's just gonna be like, no, it's always just gonna be on Netflix at this time and it'll go till whenever. So at least they won't have like the weird fluctuations in viewership because people don't know where it is on their fucking clicker. But there's still gonna be the drop off of people who are like, no, I want to watch the Super Bowl. I don't want to watch this.
Well, and that's the thing. Like this was inevitable to happen regardless, because how people digest TV shows and programs in themselves is not in the old way where people are watching off of cable boxes. Like that's dying out. It may not be dying out fast, but it's dying out. Streaming is where a lot of these things are going to, and it's just a matter of time. I have to go back to it. It still surprises me that they didn't go with Hulu on this because it just makes more sense.
It makes more
offered
sense.
A little bit more money and is probably trying to match Hulu, and then like, no, we can do this too. Here's money. We'll be on the same level. Don't worry.
Exactly.
Like, does Netflix offer any live programming at all?
Not often. I know they do a couple of different things on like an annual basis where they will stream like a premiere episode or like what's that show my girlfriend watches? The Love Is Blind like reunion show. They'll like
Hmm.
premiere that live, so to speak. I think they've dabbled in a couple of NFL games in
Okay.
the past year where they've had similar issues where it doesn't like quite work. Um, but it's a growth spurt for them. You know, they're trying something. They're trying to retain their memberships. They're trying to keep their
Hmm.
subscriptions up. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And they can go back to canceling their good shows that people actually watch.
Which is true, unfortunately, because like Netflix had some baller ass shows back in the day that they were just like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, you get two
Like, yeah.
seasons and that's it.
Yep.
Well, they did do the Full Out Metal Alchemist movie, and I'll give them credit for that. Apparently, there's like 6 of them now.
There is.
Ooh.
I had no idea.
There's quite a few.
So did they? I haven't seen this. So did they do the scene where the girl gets fused with the dog?
I don't know.
I don't
And
want to know.
honestly, I hope
don't
not.
want to know. I do
don't
want to
need-
know.
I don't need to relive that trauma, Derek. Okay.
If you're watching this on YouTube, please comment down below. Let me know. Did they do that in that movie? If you saw it, because I am curious.
Also, speaking of trauma and the Tyson and Paul fight, we got our first look at the Raw logo for when they moved to Netflix. Have you seen this?
I need to bring that up. Yeah,
Yeah,
can you bring that up real quick?
It looks.
Apparently, it was only 3 parts for Full Metal Alchemist, not
Oh,
6.
okay.
But still, I had no idea the other 2 came out.
Yeah.
Well, all I did was type Netflix and
yeah.
and that was the number one thing to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
No. There looks like they're continuing their confusing logos for SmackDown and Raw together now because we've got SmackDown and now we've got Ball. Bow.
Yeah.
Bow.
Ball with the bang the dang diggy diggy. Oh no.
Yeah, you did that.
Oh no. Ew.
Yeah.
Why did that has not been in my brain in decades.
Yeah, it's not leaving now.
No, Derek, you're stuck with that now. That's an earworm up in your brain, just like RFK Jr. But
Yeah,
this-
well, luckily though, Alex, that
Yeah.
brainworm will be in charge of all of our lives and our health. So
yeah,
it's good.
it's
a good
real
thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
No,
it's
it's
eating
not.
good. It's eating good. Anyway,
It was eaten good, and then
Mhm.
it died because it died of starvation because there was nothing to actually eat in there. That was the surprising thing to find out, was that his brain didn't have any sustenance for the brainworm, so it died.
just starved to death.
Just fucking starved to death, dude.
Oh,
He came in, he was like, "Ooh, a buffet," and
Poor
in
little guy.
every single section, like fucking had out of order or some shit.
mm,
He's like, "Ooh, I want me some Abdullah oblongata," and it's like, restock soon.
mm.
Brain is crap. It says insufficient funds.
It's overdrawn.
Cue that scene from one of the Halloween specials of The Simpsons where the zombies go up to Homer to eat his brain and they're yelling
Knock,
brains. And they
It's
they
hollow.
knock on it and it's hollow and they turn around and walk away and go brains.
Oh man.
You're
Let's-
welcome, audience.
Yeah. God. All right. Let's talk some like actual wrestling for whatever it's worth this week. We had Raw opened up with Gunther doing a promo, Damian Priest coming out because they're building to their title match at Survivor Series. Crowd was a lot hotter on this than I was. People were being like, he cooked them, and I wasn't feeling it too much. I like Priest. I like Gunther. I like their matchup. They deserve a chance to kind of save some face from the last time that they had a title match.
Well, okay, I think I disagree with you a little bit on that.
Yeah.
Not completely though. I don't think it was as hot as the audience should have let it like appear, because it wasn't, in my opinion. But that moment was where he did cook, because he brought up how Gunther lost to Cody.
Mhm.
And I had been saying in the lead up to Crown Jewel and after, whoever fucking loses at
Yeah.
Crown Jewel looks weak.
Mhm.
And I'm glad that Damian said it, because it needed to be said. And Gunther played his role with that part too. He looked actually visibly shaken from that moment.
No, like they did a good job. I just wish that they dug in a little bit deeper on it. You know,
Okay,
I wanted it to feel a little bit more personal. If you get my feeling,
I can agree with that, because they tried to play it like a mic drop moment, and it was one of those no, elaborate more moments, please.
Yeah, it was like they needed a little bit more yes and in this segment. Just take it a little bit farther, and I would have been sold on it. But it was fine. Ludwig Kaiser comes out to cut him off on the rant, and there's still some tension bubbling between him and Gunther and stuff like that. But he's still got his back, and so now it's got to go. Oh, it's gonna be me and Priest and blah 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 blah. Fine. It is what it is. I do want to give Priest some props though for rocking that Bad Bunny shirt. Hell yeah. Representing the biggest streaming artist in the world from Puerto Rico. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Viva la gente, brother.
Yeah, dude. Surprisingly, we got returning Dakota Kai in a match for Damage Control versus Pure Fusion Collective. Crowd was not into this. Crowd was not into this.
Okay, so I have to ask you real quick.
Yeah.
When Pure Fusion Collective came out,
mm-hmm.
and it was dead silent.
Yeah.
Could you feel it? Like, were you able to feel it?
It's almost as if someone took a vacuum and sucked all the air out of the building.
It was wild.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was dead. I don't know if did you watch this, Walsh?
I did not.
No.
It was dead fucking silent.
Yeah.
Usually they're shouting something.
Nope. There was not even a boo. It was just a fucking what?
It's really just them kind of like showing ass in that they revealed that Dakota Kai was back in a backstage segment before she goes out there, so the crowd can recognize that, oh, it's Dakota Kai, we should be excited. And it still didn't work.
Still didn't work. It was bad.
Yeah.
I will say though, in that backstage moment, did y'all catch that Xavier was wearing a Baron Corbin shirt?
Oh yeah, dude. Look, Xavier Woods since day one has been down for the boys. Okay, he always has been one of those guys that will lift other people up. He'll work with them. He will cheer his champions. I mean, he's one of the only guys on the entire roster I've ever heard give props to Arya Daivari when he was with WWE. He was a champion for him, and that dude got zero respect when he was with the dub.
Oh God, so sad.
Mm-hmm.
So freaking sad.
It's okay.
But
it is what it is. I mean, that led straight into Kofi versus Pete Dunne or Butch or whatever it is, and R-Truth continues to try and get this thing over, and he's probably the only person who can probably get it done.
I mean, like when you go up against R-Truth, like he's like the ultimate baby face.
Mm-hmm.
He's like that, like the youngest child. He has youngest child syndrome where he can do no wrong, no matter how much wrong he may do.
Yeah.
He will always be a baby face, even when he's doing conniving little things. Not saying he is in this, but like you will always look like a heel when you want to face off against R-Truth. It is what it is.
Yeah. He is like anybody who attacks like Tony Schiavone is instantly a heel, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like you attack R-Truth, you're an instant heel. Sorry, you're a bad guy now. Can't do it. And honestly, I don't know where they're going with this New Day split. Like they keep dragging out, like pulling the trigger on them. They keep talking about, oh, hey, it's the 10-year anniversary of New Day. Like we're gonna hype this up, and then like they don't really like they're kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back with each segment with them. Where it's
You could
like,
almost say 3 steps back.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. You could Crypt walk back and forth on this one because it's just like spinning their wheels trying to get this to happen, and it's just like I like the idea of what they were building and how they were trying to make it feel like, okay, this is actually possible, but they've spent so much time waffling back and forth on it that I've lost faith in it.
So I initially thought they were going to go for New Day split, which I was okay with. I'm like, you know what? Let them split up for a little while. They can come back together later. Let Xavier be on his bitch please moment. You know? But the more this has gone on, the more it's been making me wonder, like, are they trying to just both turn heel so they can just stay together and just both be heels? Because if that's the attempt, it looks more like an abusive relationship at that point of Xavier going to Kofi and being like, hey man, like, we're doing some dumb shit and you're just gonna have to do it.
I mean, the best heels are always the ones who are like, no, I'm doing this for the right reasons. You know, their logic still makes sense. That's always like the best heel work. And that's
the heels that think they're good guys.
Yeah, and that's what Xavier's doing. He's like, why are you booing me? I'm just trying to win, type of thing. But like, it's that reality breaking thing where, like, okay, so nobody who is on the show watches the show back to see what happens with Kofi. So he's just kind of like going along with it and being like, why are you doing this? This is completely ridiculous. You're just making us look like assholes. He's like, no, dude, I'm trying to help us win. And it's just, okay, whatever, you know, turn your brain off type of thing.
I feel like they need to pull the trigger.
They do. Like they should have done it months ago now at this point. Yeah,
like, just do it. Like, are they waiting for what's that upcoming PLE, the weekend Saturday night fights or whatever?
Oh, the Saturday night main event.
That one, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how they're classifying that one because I don't think it's actually going to be like a PLE. It's just like a 80s throwback show type of thing.
Oh, I took it as a PLE.
Yeah.
But if it's not, and they're just doing, it's like going to be like a non-PLE but like big event type thing, then like, just, I guess, do it then. But
yeah,
like, you could have done this a month ago and we could already be moving forward with like Evil New Day and see where that starts to head us into the new year. Like, come on, like, let's fucking do it. Like, fucking do it. God.
What else we have in the show? Bronson Reed, Seth moving that forward with a promo. I mean, there was like the right intensity there, and it's fun. It's not as fun as Bronson versus Braun because, you know, it's two big monsters just like going crazy and wreaking havoc, but they're still doing it well. You know, like, I don't have any complaints about it really. Like, Seth is one of those guys that he can make anything work if you give him the opportunity to.
Well, and I like that they did leave it open at Crown Jewel for this to continue. It felt like it could be an ending if they wanted it to be. But I think it's okay at the moment, at the very least, to keep it going. I do see that this doesn't have a lot of legs left, though.
Yeah.
There needs to be some movement towards the climax of this.
Yeah, we need like a stepped up rematch, you know? We need something where they can enhance the chaos, so to speak, like whether that be a falls count anywhere or some sort of, you know, ridiculous stipulation, like maybe an ambulance match or something like that would be good for this.
Backstage brawl would be good.
Well, that's
Casket
what I'm saying.
Match.
Yeah. Casket match could be interesting, especially with a guy like the size of, you know, Bronson Reed. Like, I can picture it now in my head with Seth being laid out on top of the casket and Bronson goes to the top rope and just like tsunamis him into the casket. That would be great.
Dude. Or Seth rolls away at the last minute
Mhm.
and Bronson tsunami bombs himself into the casket
Yeah.
and it closes behind him and just drops in.
Oh, that'd be great.
Dude.
Yeah, there's a lot
I would-
they could do there.
And then you could have him be gone from the show for like a month and there's just always these shots of the grave.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, like, the grave is in the ring and he breaks out of it and all this dirt and shit flies everywhere. Dude.
But that's not going to happen, and we'll get to that why when we get to SmackDown.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Yeah. Why'd you have to ruin it, Alex? Because I enjoyed coming up with that in that moment. I was so happy.
Yeah, I know.
then
You were
and-
That was so
managing
good.
booking and having fun. And
So
unfortunately,
happy, and
that's-
you crushed him.
just pulled the rug right out from underneath you. No,
Fucking SmackDown.
yeah.
Fucking SmackDown.
Yeah, after that, we got Priest versus Kaiser, which is fine. You know, it's all right. It was standard, kind of, middle of the card match on Raw.
I gotta say, those two wrestle really well together overall.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a 5-star match, but
No.
it was a good match.
Yeah, it's good, solid hands, both of them. They can go out there, they can, put on a solid match, no issue, no problem. I mean, it just need if you wanted this to be better, it just needs more heat on it,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And then that led directly into Seth with Adam Pearce and Sammy approaching Seth to be their 5th man at Survivor Series with the Bloodline, the original Bloodline versus the new Bloodline and Solo and those guys. Keeping the continuity of Rollins being like, no, I fucking hate Roman. Why would I do this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was a part of me that was like, but Shield,
Mm-hmm.
but Shield.
But Shield, brother. But Shield.
You guys have history. You can
Yeah.
you can rekindle. Sammy's rekindling right now.
Yeah, it worked for him.
Yeah. Which is one thing I do want to talk about more when we get into SmackDown. Actually,
Yeah.
I have a couple things I want to bring up about that.
Yeah, SmackDown was
So-
far more heavy Bloodline show. We'll get to that. The only
Yeah.
other things that really happened on Raw was we had Karrion Kross Final Testament threatening the Miz, and like Karrion Kross is making this work. Miz just feels out of place in this. I think that's kind of why they put him in here though, just to give Miz something to do. When the person that they could have put in this position could have been anybody. This is kind of interchangeable with anybody on the roster, really, because Karrion Kross's motivations are cryptic, confusing, and rarely make sense.
Yeah, I feel like if he really wanted this to help be thrown over more, if he really wanted to go after the Wyatt Six more, you need to use Chad Gable. He was the one to help initiate Wyatt Six coming in
Yeah.
and use him as a bit of bait to get them to come out. Obviously it wasn't needed. But I don't know. We made fun of Carrion in a GM episode not too long ago.
Yeah.
I think it still stands. This was very forgettable. I'm not going to lie
Yeah.
to you. Until I went up to the results to, refresh my memory, I forgot that this segment even fucking happened.
I mean,
So
that's kind of like Karrion Kross's whole career, really, if we're being honest.
and he's a funny fucking guy too.
He's a
That's what
funny
sucks about
fucking-
it.
Yes, he's got the right build. He's got the chops. They just don't have the right material for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's why he's never gotten over. That's why the highlight of his career is when he got buried by Adam Cole at NXT. When he said,
Oh, yeah.
you've got all of the things. You've got the girl, you've got the entrance, you've got the music, you've got all these things to make you feel special. You know what they do to make Adam Cole feel special? They ring the damn bell. And then, he had no answer for that. No answer for that. Still, it's been fucking years.
It's been years.
Yeah, and that's the highlight of his career, is him getting buried on TV.
Oh my god. And you have someone like The Miz who is a joke in his own right. So, why not let Karrion actually be funny? Just let him be funny.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Maybe
I watched fucking interviews and shit with him. The dude's hilarious.
Yeah. Like you check his like social media and stuff like that. Like he'll have like a little short video clip that's a fucking riot, or he'll post something like a photo and the caption is hilarious. Like, just let him be that guy on TV. Just do that.
Yeah.
Like he can
Yeah.
still be like the weird, like, ooh, I'm evil guy, but be funny about it. Funny villains are great.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They're memorable too. Like Doink's fucking heel run and shit. Like that's still talked about to this day.
Yeah. Doink, bruh. Making kids cry, bruh.
For real, bruh.
He makes a great tag team.
Yeah, he does. Check out our GM mode. Absolutely. Check out our GM mode, especially last week's episode. That was so great.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
fucking
right.
Bret Hart's fucking Brass Boys.
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago.
Oh my god! See, fucking content creator brain.
Mm,
I think that was in last week's episode.
yeah.
It's all at some point in the past.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
What closed out Raw? Oh, women's tag team championship match. Bianca and Jade versus Liv and Raquel. Whatever. This whole thing just ended out with just a brawl. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Bianca and Jade retained. Okay, great. Nice little teases of them splitting up in the future there, though, in this match. Like, they're doing this where it's not like, oh, hey, you're a piece of shit and I want to hurt you. We're doing this as, no, we're both the best. Which one is better? And
Yep.
we're having slight issues here and there with our communication and our back and forth, but it's not breaking the team. It's going to turn into, okay, who's really carrying us? And it's going to be, one of those things that's going to be subject to debate that can only be settled in a one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
I think that's very true there, Alex.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is inevitable. I think we've been talking about this for a few months now, that this was going to happen. But they've been slow burning it in a good way, unlike some other storylines they've been doing. Because I do feel like what we're going to end up seeing out of all of this is these two split up after Liv and Raquel inevitably take the belts off of them
through cheating.
And because I think what they're trying to do right now is to keep Liv a belt holder, but they're going to take the women's world championship belt away from her up pretty sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I could see that.
But that could end up at WrestleMania or right before WrestleMania. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, but this is one of those few times where, like, the reason for the split of a tag team doesn't have to be, like, super personal, like deep-seated resentment. It can just be about who is the best.
Oh, this is some Goku and Vegeta shit right here.
Right, exactly. It feels like, no, this is about competition.
Yeah, no, this is like good. I'm like, this is the type of split that I'm happy with, because I don't want it to be like petty shit.
Yeah,
I just want it to be who's the better one. Like, and I think with those two, especially with the personalities that they put forward for these characters, you have to do that.
Yeah,
it's only fair to these characters because Bianca, she's always been a go-getter. She's one of the most decorated fucking talent in WWE.
Before she even got to the show, like, she was already like a decorated athlete.
Yeah.
And sometimes that works out like this, like a Kurt Angle, like anybody from, like that era where they were recruiting people that were just like, no, we're super freak athletes. Sometimes it works out really great, like, Bianca Belair.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like she has the Riz behind it too. I think that's one of the because Kurt Angle also had Riz.
Oh, dude.
So like that I think that's one of the key components that tends to be missing from some of these athletes that move over. They don't have Riz. They're not used to having to be charismatic like that.
I'm trying to remember the one guy's name, young kid that they brought in as kind of like, he was like teed up to be like the next Brock Lesnar type. And he fell flat, and then he did like a couple appearances in AEW and fell flat again. God, I wish I could remember his name, because he's doing an excursion over in Japan, and apparently he's killing it over there. He's finally starting to like find his footing and like find a voice and kind of like a character that works for him. But before that, he was just like, oh, so he's just kind of like a little bit more doughy Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and I like that. Like with some people, they already have charisma, so they're going to be able to walk in and just start doing it.
Yeah.
But with some of these people, you need to just put it in the work until you find something that helps you click with the audience. And I'm glad that he is over there.
Yeah. Not everybody is the Costco guys.
Right. Exactly. Like Jade clicked for me immediately in AEW. Like, loved her.
She's got the presence immediately.
Exactly. Like WWE, it took a little bit. I think it took the help of Bianca and Naomi to really help sell her as a not just a monster, but as like a vulnerable person as well. Not vulnerable in like the she can be defeated kind of way, but like just human.
Yeah. Like their chemistry since they started working together, off the charts.
Off the charts. And I wonder if like helping, like having that kind of like crew almost immediately coming in helps you gain that self-esteem to be more charismatic. Because if like, you look at like two of her promos in like the very first couple weeks that she was being debuted in WWE versus now, and it's a night and fucking day difference.
Yeah,
like literally.
Unfortunately, her best match ever is still like her last match in AEW against Chris Statlander when she went out on a loss, because that was her best work in her entire career so far, and she hasn't gotten back up there yet.
That was a great fucking match.
You know,
I loved her in AEW. I was so sad originally when I heard she was going to WWE, but I admit I'm happy she's over there.
Yeah,
so.
She's a good fit.
She is.
Let's power through Dynamite, because that was a kind of show. Some real key highlights to go through, but overall kind of like another meh show. What do we have open up here?
Was Jay White and Juice Robinson versus Adam Page and Christian Cage?
Yeah, that fucking ruled. There was some good shit in there. I really loved Jay White hitting the Blade Runner to Christian Cage on the outside and slamming him into the barricade with it. That was great. Cage and Page, good chemistry together. I mean, Christian Cage is a legend to begin with. Adam Page is phenomenal when it comes to stuff in the ring, and they just made it look good out there. What's that look in your face? What?
Boys.
What?
They need to call their duo team Page and Cajun. Page and Cajun, boys.
If they start talking with a Creole accent and start bringing some like gumbo down to the ring, I'm gonna hate you. I'm gonna hate.
But they got to do like a really, really bad accent.
Yeah.
And instead of like just a simple announcement to bring them down the ramp, one of the announcers has to actually use a pager to page them, and then they go to a cell phone or a payphone and be like, hey, what do you need? Oh, it's my turn. Okay. And then they come out.
Yeah. I love just how over Hangman is, despite being a despicable heel. People can't not cheer for the guy. He's that good. Something that we didn't talk about that happened the other week on Dynamite was Jay White was doing a backstage interview, and Hangman went to attack him, and he came on screen so fast. It was the most believable somebody being attacked from the front that I could buy. Because usually when, you know, somebody does like a run-in during like an interview or something like that, if they're not coming from behind them, you're wondering like, how the hell did you not see them coming? He flew in so fast, it was believable that he didn't have time to react.
It was a blur. I didn't know who it was at first, actually.
Yeah.
I was like what?
Once again, proving why he is one of the goats of all wrestling is fucking Hangman. Yeah, he's so good.
Dude. I mean, this match in itself was pretty good overall.
Mhm.
I mean, when you have Christian Cage in a match, you know it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a minimum of good.
Yeah, the dude's putting together a banger match easily.
I mean, he took a fucking chest first fucking turnbuckle hit that looked like it was gonna destroy him.
Yeah, dude, Bret Hart style.
Dude.
Yeah, so good. What followed that? Immediately after that, we had the backstage with Camille and Mercedes Moné, and then phenomenal job again with the framing, because you just see Chris Statlander walk in, turn the corner, and being like, "Oh, there you are," and then put her through a wall. One of the worst fucking walls I've ever seen, but she put her through the wall. It was made out of cardboard. Really?
I mean, it was that same level of wall between Bronson and Braun. So
no,
yeah.
this one was a little bit worse in my opinion, because this was very obviously a wall put up in a hallway instead of like, oh no, this is just like a little area backstage that's kind of half-ass put together. No, this was very clearly an existing hallway that we just put a fake wall in front of because there was carpet on the other side.
Okay, I'll give you that. It did look worse.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, well, we all knew that wall and with the Bronson and Braun thing was obviously fake too, like just put up. So I don't know. To me, it's like I kind of love that.
Yeah.
With wrestling, I love that kind of shit because it's not jarring to me. It's the shit that I grew up with. That my childhood watching cartoons all the time brain would just know, but always just never care about, because you'd see a cartoon with like the background looking one way and the very obvious only fucking door in the hallway that'll open type shit.
Yeah,
like that's what that is for me. So
oh no, it's so shit. I love it. That's where
dude,
I'm at with it. You
yeah,
know? And
I fucking love that.
I'm
shit.
all for silly dumb shit like this. Speaking of, this turned into the beginning of the chaos of the night, because we had Tony Schiavone, middle of the ring, brings out Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay does a nice job of being like, thanks, Tony, now fuck off, because I don't want you here for what happens next. Calls out Kyle Fletcher. They start going back and forth. Decent job by both of these guys. They do promos slightly differently. They have different like schools of thought, I feel like. Kyle Fletcher has the presentation style of the guy who, okay, no, I'm practicing this. I know what I'm going to say to him when I get out there. Will Ospreay has the style of like, no, I have no idea what I'm going to say out there. I'm just going to spit out words, and that's what makes it believable.
And it's going to end with bruv every time.
Yeah, but very well done by both of them. Immediately turns into chaos and madness, because the rest of the Don Callis family comes out. We got Lance Archer, Brian Cage coming out to support Fletcher. Will has his backup, Will Hobbs, and Mark Davis come out to help. Huge brawl. And as this breaks out, oh no, Roderick Strong has a match with Lance Archer, so we're just going to tie this in right now, and they're just doing a Falls Count Anywhere. Little bit of silliness, unfortunately, because I'm assuming because they didn't have the biggest crowd, it was very contained in the audience. There wasn't a lot of like, oh, we're going to brawl back and forth everywhere. Super fun, though, with Archer just, picking people up and putting them on top of the barricade and then just fucking choke slamming them to the ground. Roderick Strong knocking the feet out from underneath him, so he just crotches himself on the barricade.
Yeah.
And then fantastic hops on fucking Roderick Strong, jumping over the barricade to hit him in the head with a knee. Just super, like it had the potential to be great. It just wasn't, because they couldn't really like brawl everywhere, unfortunately.
I was going to say, if it took place in more areas, I think this would have gone over better.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was still really fun, though. It was very chaotic, but like you said, very contained style chaos.
Yeah.
The kendo stick in the entrance was great. I love that. And that choke slam into the security guards was awesome.
Yeah. Also, I completely blazed over this, but Will Ospreay throwing the screwdriver directly into the ground, perfectly through the mat. That was nice. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. And then immediately, this goes into what the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom are out there already. So Konosuke Takeshita comes out to attack Roderick Strong, and then Adam Cole comes out to fight Konosuke Takeshita because they've got a match. And then there's a lot of back and forth with this. Unfortunately, like, crowd is not on Adam Cole's side at all throughout this. Rightfully so, though. Konosuke Takeshita gets the win.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they have him cheat using the Dynamite Diamond Ring. I mean, sure, it makes sense that, you know, he's going to cheat to win, but I guess they want to keep Adam Cole looking strong, I guess. Even though, like, it's Konosuke Takeshita. I mean, the dude's a fucking beast.
I was going to say, like, they need to lean into Cole having a dead person's bone in him.
Yeah.
And do some supernatural shit, because I don't know, man. Like, it's just not working for me right now. And it's not working for the audience as much as they're trying, because the audience should have been booing Takeshita. Yeah. Technically. And they were cheering. So
that's just what happens with wrestling sometimes. When you're that good at wrestling, people want to cheer for you. It doesn't matter what you do. I mean, look at Swerve and Hangman. Prime example. Like, both of them did despicable shit, but they both were massively cheered throughout the entire time.
That's a good point. I'll give you that. That is definitely a good point.
Something else that they did that was a fun trick was to keep Adam Cole's music playing while he was doing the run-in, so he could still do the pop for his, you know, the boom and the Adam Cole baby. Like, in the beginning of a match. That was a fun little production trick that they did. I like that.
Yeah, that was good. I did like that.
Yeah. What else happened? Oh, yeah. It was time for Jon Moxley and the Death Riders to show up and seize control of the Superstation TBS. Just beating JD Drake up for no reason with a chair. Poor bastard. Mox grabs a mic, does a promo, and then Orange Cassidy comes out to respond. Briscoe and Rocky Romero back him up. Yep. And they get, you know, there's an attempted retreat, I guess you could say, because as they're making their way back out through the crowd, Darby, keeping the kayfabe alive with a pink Sting mask, jumps from on top of the entranceway on top of everybody. Just, I love it. Silly, great.
It was the best part about this.
No. The best part about this is as they're making the escape, and before Yuta's had a chance to catch up, they're going to peel off. Darby jumps in the back of their pickup truck. Claudio gets out, just muscles him around, grabs him up for a giant swing, and just yeets him into the fucking garage door, leaving him for dead.
Yeah.
That was the best part.
That was pretty cool, too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But Darby's doing his superhero fucking shit right now. His fucking crow shit because of Sting. And I'm here for it, because if there's going to be someone to pick up that fucking mantle, it's got to be fucking Darby. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I don't do the descend from the rafters again until you figure out how to make it not look like SpongeBob in that one meme. Please don't.
He just needs to drop in on a skateboard. That'll look more natural. So.
Yeah, he can sell that.
What was the hoverboard called in Back to the Future? He can come in on that.
It was just a hoverboard. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it had like a special name. So, but yeah, he can come in on a hoverboard, like an actual hoverboard, not those shitty ones that they try to tell you are hoverboards right now that are real.
Yeah, he just has to remember that hoverboards don't work on water unless you
got power.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip right over the Britt Baker and Penelope Ford
I was
match.
wondering if you were going to or not.
Dead. My God, you could hear people digesting their beer and popcorn during this. Jesus,
Walsh, you could hear coughs.
Yeah, it was
I'm like, this isn't an exaggeration. You could hear people coughing.
My God, it's unfortunate because I actually do enjoy Penelope Ford as a wrestler. Her Matrix dodge is fantastic into a cutter, so cool.
Unfortunately, this is a very middle of the road match.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put it mid
at best.
This was
like
drizzling
the high
shit.
end. Yeah. Like I'm sorry. I'm trying to give some credit because it wasn't Penelope's fault really. It was more Britt.
Yeah,
but
The heat's not there.
He's just not there. Nobody cares.
Nobody fucking gives a shit, unfortunately. I'm sure they'll find a way to, if they really want it to work, they'll figure out a way to make it work and get Britt Baker back on their hot streak, but they just haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
Something that I was really looking forward to, though, was Leo Rush versus Swerve, because these are two guys that have very unique, unorthodox wrestling styles, and to see them match up was a blast. These guys, like I don't even know what you would call this, because this was probably one of the strongest matches of the night, easily, and something I would love to see them run back, because they were a blast.
This match, not only was it a blast, it was like an alarm clock for the audience, because like they were right back into it. Like, we got "This is awesome" chants. Like, people were really fucking into Swerve, fucking acting like intellectual and like already knowing what Leo was gonna do before he did it.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, like studying the tape, so to speak, lore of like, I know what you're going to do from both of these guys, and being able to counter out of it. It was so cool and solid, and with a clean finish, you know?
Yes. I do have to say, though, I think Swerve is going to find out real fucking hard, because he called out Bobby Lashley, and you don't call out Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley comes to you.
He does. And I love what Bobby is doing right now with the striptease, basically, with each show he's on, where he's just like, no, you're not getting the, I'm just losing the jacket. I'm doing the cuffs right now. You're not getting the full show. No, you're getting a taste. You got paid to see the package.
The funniest part is like a few weeks back, or like 2 weeks ago, you had said, don't give us everything. And you were fucking right, because like he's literally doing it like little bits at a time.
Yeah,
and it's fucking hilarious. Like you literally fucking called it.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't sell these feet for free, brother.
No. Like, his wiki feet rating is so low because he doesn't show. You gotta pay.
The fucking paparazzi, man, like they could make upwards of $1.2 million per shot of them feet.
Yep.
And no one's been able to fucking collect.
Yeah, get those little tootsies out there.
But this was a great match, though. I did love this match. I do believe this was like the best match of the night. So.
Oh yeah, by far, so much fun. I love this because they're built completely differently, but they have just such unique offensive styles that they're a blast to watch separately. But you put them together, and this is just like, I don't know what's gonna happen type of time.
And it's making me wonder more and more, like the Hurt Syndicate going up against Swerve and everybody. Like, how is this going to play out? Like, is Swerve going to end up having to bend the knee by the end of the day?
Dude, knowing the character that Swerve has crafted, this is going to be one of those moments where, like, they're going to have to, like, damn near kill Swerve. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Because after the Hangman Page match, that last one with the brick and everything, you pretty much would have to almost kill him to get him to actually submit.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Same.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, dude. I fucking love Swerve, dude.
Yeah, he's fucking great. What else was great was the dumbest thing that they turned into gold simply because it was Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa, and they having this exchange backstage where Harley Cameron dropped, I don't know how many innuendos for tits in a row. I lost count. And them having, like, the dumbest, like, titty shake off. And Renee being like, no, we're done with this. We got to get out of this. This is terrible. It was so dumb. I loved it.
I mean, it was... I did not expect this to follow up, okay?
No.
Dynamite has been swerving me quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, because I do feel like they're starting to rebound from some heavy ratings hits.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago. And we need some weird shit like this.
Yeah. The tonal whiplash fucking cracked me, dude. It broke me. I was just dying laughing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Main event, we had FTR versus Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black, Brody King. Okay, this is where I'm a little bit upset with this, but not for the right reason. I'm going to say I liked House of Black taking the win here. I want to see them do more with House of Black. I enjoy them as a team. They're super fun. I didn't really want to see FTR in the championship picture right now just because they're so frequently in that picture.
Yeah.
But why the fuck did you have Brody King and Malachi Black lose back to back? Or no, Buddy Matthews and Malachi Black lose to Adam Cole in singles competition just to have them win here, you know?
Yeah. I guess maybe like learning from your mistakes and overcoming from previous losses and not letting it keep you down, but it's not sold that way. So.
No, it doesn't feel that way. And like, I'm sorry, you've got a massive roster, Tony Khan. You could have picked 2 other wrestlers to fucking have Adam Cole win over. Like it could have been anybody else. If you're going to do this with them, they should have been continually booked strong leading up to this instead of coming off of losses.
Exactly. Because this didn't feel like the rebound kind of fight. This felt like we've been dominant for a few months kind of fight.
It did. But overall, like, just decent match between them. I mean, they're fucking phenomenal wrestlers, so of course they're gonna put on a good fucking show.
Yeah.
A couple of highlights definitely were FTR mocking House of Black by doing the cross-legged Malachi Black, crisscross applesauce sit on the outside to the cameras. That was fun.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, I did enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, Brody King's so fucking cool. Just him coming in the rec house is great. I love when Cash Wheeler gets, like, his foot to the floor and hits the gas and goes for that, like, babyface fire-up sequence. He's so fucking good at that. I love it. He's got that energy where you can believe he can do anything in that moment. Like, he could, like, jump over the ring and just keep going and fly into the crowd at times like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Overall, though, a decent Dynamite, I'd have to say. Not a ton going on, but it was a solid show.
Yeah, solid show, not like like bang average, I would say, Yeah. Yeah, we're probably going to get a hot one this Wednesday leading up to Full Gear. That's when my anticipation's at.
I'm on the same page with that.
Yeah. All right. Now for the main thing that we got to talk about, fucking SmackDown here. Mm-hmm. Opening up with triple threat match for, was this the qualifiers for the new title, the U.S. Women's Championship?
Yes.
Yeah. Something that I never expected to see was B-Fab in the ring.
Didn't know she could wrestle.
Nobody did. Derek, I don't think anybody else on the roster knew she could wrestle.
Honestly, she was not that bad.
No, she
overall. She looked pretty seasoned in there. Like, she's been doing this a bit, so props to her on that one.
Yeah. She's one of those wrestlers that probably got taken up from NXT just a little bit too early, just so people could actually get behind her as a wrestler rather than as, like, a manager kind of, like, on the side.
That's all I thought she was initially. Like, I wasn't against her being that, but once I saw that she was booked for this match, I was like, oh, shit, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's weird. I didn't know she wrestled.
Mm-hmm.
And she honestly was the star of the match for me.
Yeah.
Probably because I didn't know anything about her as a wrestler, but she didn't look sloppy like the other two. So
no. Although I will say, Candice LeRae's counter from the Tower of Doom spot into a pin, that was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty cool. I did like that.
Yeah, immediately after that, we had, was this LA Knight versus Berto. LA Knight doing the classic open challenge for his title. Look, we've seen it so many times in the past, but I'm not against it simply because it gets guys like Berto who, don't have a lot of presence with the crowd time to get in the ring, get some time on TV type of thing. I'm kind of okay with that, honestly.
I am too, and I did like the little swerve with I thought this was going to be Santos Escobar, versus LA Knight. Sorry, Santos Escobar C.
There you go.
I that's what I thought was going to happen, but yeah, we got Berto. Gotta say, because this was his first match ever in WWE. Am I right in saying that? Because I've never seen him before.
He's usually tag teaming with the other guy from his faction.
Oh,
yeah, they're a tag team, Derek.
That's how little screen time they get then.
Yeah.
Which leads into more of those issues with it being a shorter show nowadays.
Yeah.
But I did like this match. I think he looked really strong.
Yeah.
He looked solid. When it came to taking bumps and everything, they looked legit. This wasn't like an A+ type of match or nothing for me, like a 5-star.
No.
But
solid though.
But a solid freaking match. This was pretty damn good.
Yeah, a couple of highlights in there, especially when LA Knight's got the mic and he encourages the crowd to boo Logan Paul. Popped me. Love that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Got a hate boner. It was good.
Yeah. LA Knight hitting his like signature more difficult jumps to the ring ropes. I mean, good for him. I want to see him succeed when he does those. Those slip ups scare me when he misses those.
Makes my own balls hurt, Alex.
Yeah.
Makes my own balls hurt. And
then, like, the surprise of the night as LA Knight's celebrating, fucking Shinsuke Nakamura, or I'm sorry, maybe I should say Sith Say Nakamura comes out looking like he'd just been, dipping into the pools outside of Darth Vader's lava castle, looking like a Sith Lord, just attacks him out of nowhere, looking evil as fuck.
Bro was like, oh, I need to go to Korriban to get me some like evil fucking crystals for my lightsaber. Fuck that. I don't need no lightsaber. I'm just going to do this myself. And it came out like a bat out of hell, boy.
Yeah.
It was so good to see him. And then like at first I didn't see the red paint on his eyes. Hopefully editing Derek will put it up on the YouTube video.
Yeah.
But holy shit, did it look good as like his hair was moving around it, because then you could see it.
Yeah.
Dude, and he's dressed like a fucking Sith Lord, like a straight up like fucking Knights of the Old Republic Sith Lord. It was crazy fucking cool. I'm so fucking here for it. It's been way too fucking long since I've seen Shinsuke in the goddamn ring.
I know. He's been off TV for, I want to say, 8 or 9 months.
Almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year. And God, look, I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I know his run in WWE has been mid at best, but he's got fucking aura. He's got presence, and I want to see him do evil shit. I mean, some of the most fun I had watching Shinsuke Nakamura in the past on WWE is when he was harassing AJ Styles by just showing up and just hitting him in the balls repeatedly out of nowhere.
Dude, this moment here, it made me believe that he needs to be fucking belted up.
Yeah.
The crowd was so fucking behind this moment. Everybody was surprised. Nobody fucking expected this. It was amazing. And he didn't say a goddamn word. He just came in, did his thing, showed everybody up, got out, and just walked off all fucking sauntery and fucking like evil. Like, dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was great. I love it.
This was the best part of the night for me. The best part of the night for me, dude.
Yeah.
For real.
This is when a surprise works in the best way possible. When something unexpected like this and you get a payoff like this, great. And you got somewhere to go with it now.
Seriously.
Yeah. All right. Okay, then we had Motor City Machine Guns and Street Profits. Just a blast of a tag team match. This was a blast. Unfortunately, ended with shenanigans, and we got was a no contest, and just okay, whatever. Moving on.
Well, okay, so hear me out. I think the no contest is because they don't want Street Profits to look weak right now.
Yeah.
I do believe they're trying to put them over at the moment for tag team.
Yeah.
because we've been getting more and more screen time with them lately.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I fucking love the Street Profits, and I would like to see them be part of that like alliance, like at least for the tag team end of it, to take on the Pretender Bloodline.
Yeah. We'll see. I do enjoy the aspect of it being Tommaso Ciampa that comes out and just attacks the Profits because he's still pissed off about everything. That's a nice bit of continuity. That's a blast.
I really think we're going to be seeing the end of DIY. This is just proving it more, in my opinion. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, unless Gargano's like, no, fuck that. He's right. We're gonna just batter the shit out of people and be evil now. It could be fun.
It could be. Oh, you know what? Let them have their feud against each other like they did in NXT, but have the feud be about turning Gargano heel.
Yeah.
And then he turns heel, and then they're back together as an evil tag team.
Either that, or they split, and Gargano becomes the sixth member of the Wyatt Six.
Hey! And then Ciampa ends up joining, not realizing that Gargano was there because, everybody wears masks.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, what the fuck are you doing here? And then they just remake DIY. Full circle.
But just an Ouroboros, just a snake eating his tail.
Yeah. Just a good old goatsy.
All right, let's get through the fucking main event before we talk Bloodline stuff. Just because, unfortunately, I fucking hated this main event. It wasn't badly wrestled, but the finish and the shenanigans and the overbooked aspect of it just kind of like, what the fuck are we even doing here? Type of moment,
Yeah. I love Naomi. I have said this many weeks. I do believe she needs a belt on her. She's one of those talent in the WWE right now who is so over. And who better to take the belt off of than Nia? This rivalry though should have ended at Crown Jewel
easily,
or it should have ended just after Crown Jewel, or it should have ended just before Crown Jewel, because this is too fucking late in my book now. It feels stale to me. There was no reason for this match other than to keep the belt on Jax.
Yeah. Especially with that finish, which I'm sorry, made zero fucking sense to me. So we had Tiffy comes out to help Nia, and Bayley comes out to stop Tiffy and to help Naomi because Bianca and Jade got jumped backstage by Liv and Raquel because they want their tag titles. So Candice LeRae comes in to stop Bayley from doing any more help, even though Bayley wasn't doing anything. She was just sitting on the outside cheering on. So it had zero effect, but somehow that still cost Naomi the win, and Nia retains. And Tiffy didn't even come out with the briefcase.
Audience, if you're just as confused as Alex is in explaining this,
this
really fucking happened. Like, none of this made fucking sense. Why would Tiffy come out without the briefcase? Why would Candice LeRae come out?
Yeah. Tarek, this is all just building towards the women's match at Survivor Series. This is what it is. This is how they're getting there. This is how they're explaining it.
Oh, you're forgetting also, Alex, that Raquel and Liv were attacking Bianca and Jade backstage at that time.
I did. I dropped that in.
Oh, you did say?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. There was so much happening.
That's just how much there was.
Yeah, that's just how much shenanigans happened. So that means that at Survivor Series, it's going to be a match with Liv, Raquel, Nia, Tiffy, and Candice LeRae versus Jade, Bianca, Bayley, Naomi, and who's the fifth? Who's the fifth?
Someone.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, Alex.
Yeah.
I know who it. Because they all fuse into one, it'll be Fusion Collective.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're gonna fuse.
Yeah.
They're gonna use the fusion dance and become one person. The
Yep.
the PFC.
Jesus fucking Christ.
God.
But probably actually though.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
and the way WWE will be able to sell it to everyone is they'll use a trench coat and just
Yeah.
have them all be on each other's shoulders.
you know what? That would make them better. That would make them more watchable. Okay, that would be entertaining at least.
Could you imagine them three being in a giant fucking trench coat and having to wrestle like a normal human fucking being?
I'm
I
picturing
would
right now,
fucking
and it's
die.
fantastic. I love this idea. Book it.
Okay, so here's the question then. Here's the question,
Yeah.
boys. So with the trench coat, would it only have the two arms like a normal human? Or would there be an opening for each set of arms so they could each kind of do shit? Like,
No, dude,
like more like a centipede.
It's gonna be Venture Brothers Mecha Shiva style.
Oh my fucking god!
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
What a closer for SmackDown, boys! Because this isn't even over yet.
No, we gotta talk.
We've
Yeah.
stalled.
Yeah, we've
Night
stalled.
Shift, just so you know, because there's more, and our brains are still digesting that previous portion. We had to regurgitate for you.
Yeah. So now we have all of the Bloodline shenanigans in the show. Sammy is like, hey, things with Seth didn't work out. Womp womp. I think I got maybe one other person. Who could that be? Who is that, Derek?
None other than L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. And what does LA Knight say?
Nah, bruh.
No, I don't give a shit. Fuck off.
That ain't my fight.
That
They can
ain't
all
my
just
fight.
destroy each other.
Yeah.
I could care less. But that wasn't the exact words, but it was something actually along that line. But yeah, he wasn't into it.
Yeah, he said, not my monkeys, not my circus. Okay?
Here, and I got to ask you, Alex,
Yeah.
why did Sammy think that asking LA Knight would be would go anywhere? The man's a belt holder. He's
yeah.
too busy dealing with Game 8 of a fucking World Series thing that he interjected himself into.
He was hoping he would just get him. Hey, just say yeah, and it's your thing, right? Just say yeah.
Should have asked maybe Braun Strowman. He might have said yeah.
He's out with injury.
Yeah, that's why he probably would have said yeah, though, because he wouldn't be able to come back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick
mythical third member from the NWO.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he hasn't called up Cody because that would be the easy choice.
And Cody would come.
Yeah.
One pump chump.
I'm pulling up the roster here. Let's see. We got just random people he could have asked. AJ Styles.
Yep.
Paulo Cruz somehow still on the roster. I don't know.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah. Carmelo Hayes, maybe. Cedric Alexander, he's still there.
Yep.
Definitely not Giovanni Vinci because he's just getting dog walked every time he's on screen.
Yep.
Yeah. Kevin Owens, definitely not. Not going to happen. He hates him.
Not happening.
Logan Paul only shows up for a big payday. Neither Gallows or Anderson ever want to work, so that's not going to happen.
Nope.
Montez Ford, he's busy.
Yep.
Randy Orton, just written off with a pile driver.
I know who could use some work right now that could do it.
Who?
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Oh, recently released Baron Corbin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. And that's probably all the viable options that he could probably ask on SmackDown.
Do you think he could ask Bronson Reed, Alex?
Oh, no, because Bronson Reed has aligned with Solo and his bloodline and just battered the shit of the OG bloodline with them. My God. I will say he does fit nicely, though.
He does, actually. I have to admit as well. It does seem to be like this was right. Like you could have almost saved Jacob Fatu for later and brought in Bronson earlier.
Yeah. I don't know if he could have just simply because they've spent these many weeks building Bronson. Because before this, he was kind of like nobody really gave a shit. So yeah. I feel like this worked out in the best way possible, honestly, for them.
Yeah, overall, the segment, they're really trying to show how this new bloodline is dominating.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't dominate through good means.
No.
They dominate through evil shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans.
So,
but yeah, there's multiple ways this can go. Before we, start fantasy booking that, they end the show with the Usos telling Roman, make the call him, and he goes to call the wise man, Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman's phone's disconnected, or you're blocked, Roman, one of the two, or maybe it's because Solo smashed Paul Heyman's phone months ago on TV, and Paul Heyman just never replaced it.
he's too busy paying his ECW wrestlers out. So he was a little bit behind on that.
Yeah, he's behind. He's out of minutes. He doesn't have any more minutes. He can't.
Got to swing by Radio Shack.
Yeah.
Oh no, Cricket Wireless is a sponsor. Maybe you could work out a deal there. Do a commercial, get a phone.
Yeah.
Every commercial, every time it airs, you get 3 minutes.
Everyone gets an additional 3 minutes.
I mean, that's a hell of a deal with how often they air those commercials. I would take that.
So I have to say, I do believe that we're gonna get a quest, an adventure, like a side quest of Roman and gang and his D&D party of the OG Bloodline going to find Paul Heyman and save him from the goblins.
I'm for
probably
that.
kobolds.
Probably kobolds. You're actually
probably
right,
kobolds. I suspect. Okay, they brought in Bronson Reed to tease bringing Seth into Survivor Series for the War Games match, which that works. That's fine. That's some continuity that keeps their feud going. That gives them a reason to team with Roman because I just want to get my hands on Bronson Reed. Sure. Alternatively, what I want to happen, what I really, really want to happen is for them to do all the entrances for Survivor Series. And then when it comes time for their fifth man, we get to hear the words, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And I would do the honor of introducing a former client who I have now been retained by once again. And then the Cult of Personality hits and CM Punk comes out to work with Roman, just because.
I would love that.
Just because.
Did I predict the future?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I hope so.
Yeah.
I
We've
hope
done it
so.
a few times already, so let's be real. If anybody ever watches some of our older episodes, they're gonna see you actually calling shit like right before it happened.
Yeah.
It's just good storytelling.
Yeah, dude.
If they watch if they watch our GM mode episodes,
Yeah, they will see.
they will see that you are somehow a magical fucking booker. Like, it's insane.
Dude, he's the Oracle.
Oh, the power.
It's like me and Alex are like, oh, you know what? Why don't you try my meatloaf that's only made with like egg and breadcrumbs, and Walsh is over here using fucking spices.
Yeah, fresh herbs.
Yeah, dude.
See?
He's got some
That's
like
what I'm
fresh coriander and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we get the mortar and pestle and we smash them up and you toast those up a little bit before you use them. You get better flavor.
He was able to turn a man who spent his life scaring children to become one of the best promo givers in SmackDown ever.
Yeah.
In GM mode.
How do you get a little kid to say, yes, I'm a fan? You get in his face and you tell him, you're going to be a fan.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm all for it.
Yep.
Oh, but honestly, I kind of want them to do that angle with Punk just because they can play up the year-long fight against Seth Rollins. Because how great was Seth being pissed off that CM Punk debuted at the end of last year's Survivor Series? I want them to just do that. I just want Seth to be pissed off at everybody.
That would be great. I would love that. And then they inevitably end up having to work together. And it's real hard because they just want to kill each other.
Yeah. Oh, God. Now, there's
So good.
one thing I'm just going to look up here real quick. That's tangentially related to wrestling. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Chris Evans mega hit. Red 1 opened in theaters this weekend on a budget of over $200 million. Looking to maybe pull in $34 million on its debut weekend.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that's less than what you want.
that's much less.
Didn't know this was a movie.
Yeah.
This is new to me.
Oh, Derek.
One thing that makes me want to see it is, you want to know who Santa is, Derek?
Who?
J.K. Simmons.
A jacked J.K. Simmons.
The man's Jack normally, actually. The dude is a beast.
I love that guy.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Amazing in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love him too.
Mhm.
That commercial he did for Helldivers was great.
Oh, dude, everything he's done is just great. I mean, Portal, Cade Johnson.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, the only guy who can ever play that role. Ever.
I want him to be J. Jonah Jameson as Spider-Man.
Okay. I mean, we have seen footage of him in the suit in the Raimi Spider-Mans. He can pull it off. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, you know what? Let's have him accidentally get bit in a what if.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. But no, it'll probably, I think at the end of the weekend, it'll probably pull in like 90 some odd million internationally. And then The Rock can, no longer spend time doing cryptic shit, occasionally popping up to WWE and doing a countdown. So we're probably going to see him at Survivor Series too.
Yeah. Well, that's a guarantee. It's a PLE.
I mean, yeah, not quite. I mean, he wasn't there at Crown Jewel. He was busy. He's doing other shit.
That's true. He wasn't, but he was at Bad Blood, so he doesn't make good decisions. So
yeah, he was at Bad Blood. Came out, made his entrance with his fucking People's Championship title. That doesn't mean anything. Counted 1, 2, 3, and then fucked off, and then cut a promo on Twitter after that, which was fantastic. Just telling John Cena's picture to go eat some Fruity Pebbles, telling Dusty's picture, "Love you, hate your son." I mean.
He only counted to 3. You know what? He's auditioning to be a referee.
Yeah, special guest referee for War Games. The Rock.
He's showing he knows how to count.
Yeah, final boss.
Yeah. The final boss countdown.
No, I can't do it anymore because we'll get we'll get copyright strike.
Ba-da-bum.
You just gotta do it off key.
Ba-da-bop.
But yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
It's good. I'm just
It's
gonna
good.
I'm gonna say next couple of weeks are gonna be a little bit rough on the old WWE side, just because we're gonna get a lot of pre-tape shows for good reason, giving people time off for the holidays. But don't expect anything groundbreaking. I'm sorry, folks.
Yeah, any sort of title shot, just expect it to be retained.
Yeah, it seems real fair.
Yeah, Derek knows what that's like in his GM mode. How many belts has Randy got?
2.
How long has he held them?
Since season 1.
He's always had them, Derek. He's always had them.
Actually, if you watch season 1 of 2K24 Night Shift, you will see that Randy, I think, almost the entire time had both belts.
Yeah, he doesn't drop, dude, I'm telling you, he's got that Hogan creative control clause in his contract. You cannot get him to drop those belts.
My dumbass is going to end up trying to do a GM interference, and he's still going to goddamn win. I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, that's happened to me. It's not fun.
Yeah.
This is guaranteed to work. Not guaranteed to work.
Working.
Yeah. Before we wrap it up, I do want to make a quick recommendation to folks to watch a clip from Collision this past Saturday. Jack Perry went to kidnap Daddy Magic Matt Menard from ringside because he does commentary on Collision. And Daniel Garcia jumped him in the process of this, and they proceeded to chain him to the front of his scapegoat bus and drive away.
I did not watch Collision. This is news to me.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Wrestling is so dumb. I love it.
Oh, that's great. I love this.
Mm-hmm. Also, Shelton Benjamin had a banger of a match with Commander where he just brutalized him. It's something to behold.
Gonna have to watch that too. Love me some Shelton Benjamin.
Yep.
Dude's a killer.
Mm-hmm. Damn
He's a
straight.
killer. That's right.
But that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for joining us on your night off. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the engagement, hit all the buttons. And we'll see you next week where we're going to be talking, probably some mid-wrestling because I'm pretty sure we're getting some pre-tape stuff coming up. But we've got some go-home shows for Full Gear, so that's something to look forward to.
Yep.
And Full Gear.
Remember to eat your vitamins, eat your vegetables.
Say your prayers.
Say
Cthulhu demands your prayers, Derek.
Yeah. Pray to the old ones.
I pray to Cthulhu only on Thursdays. That's Cthulhu Day.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray to Thor on Tuesdays because that's Thor's day.
I hate you. I hate you so much right now.
I had such a dumb joke and it actually worked.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Buddy.
I'm just kidding. Love y'all. The only thing left to do is let's say good night.
Good night, everybody.
Buenas noches, Night Shift.